All right, let's get right into it. We're going to break down a liver cleanse that's getting a ton of buzz, one that promises some seriously powerful results in just 3 days. But here's the thing. This is not about chugging expensive juices or weird teas. Nope. This is a totally different way of thinking, based on Dr. Berg's method for basically activating your body's own internal cleaning crew. And let's be real, this is the biggest problem, isn't it? So many so-called cleanses are just brutal. You know the drill. You start them hoping to feel amazing, but instead you just end up feeling completely exhausted, sick, and just wiped out. It happens so often that most people just give up on the whole idea. So, that's the million-dollar question. How do you actually get the benefits of a cleanse without the misery? What if the whole idea of adding stuff in to flush stuff out is kind of backwards? What if the most powerful way to cleanse your body doesn't involve drinking anything special at all, but instead it's about activating a system that's already built right into your cells?
And that brings us to this really cool concept. Your body has its own self-cleaning mode. It's already there. The trick isn't to force some kind of cleanse from the outside, but to just, well, flip the switch that turns this incredibly powerful internal system on.
And the fancy name for that process is autophagy. It literally means self-eating, which sounds a little weird, but it's amazing. Think of it like your body's own spring cleaning crew. It goes around, finds old, damaged, junk-filled cells, breaks them down, and then recycles all the good parts to build brand new, healthy, energetic cells. This right here is the ultimate detox.
Now, if you want to zoom in a little bit, this is how it works. Inside pretty much every single one of your cells, you've got this little part called a lysosome. The best way to think about it is like the cell's own personal incinerator or its garbage disposal. It literally burns up waste, old proteins, microbes, viruses, all the junk, and recycles it. So when you activate autophagy, you're basically putting these little garbage disposals into overdrive. Okay, so how do we actually do it? How do we flip that switch and activate this incredible self-cleaning process? That is the most important question, right? Well, it turns out there are a few ways to trigger autophagy, but they are definitely not all created equal. So let's count down the main triggers, from the weakest all the way to the most powerful.
All right, let's run through these real quick. Coming in at number 7, we've got phytonutrients from plants. They give you a nice, mild boost. Then at number 6, the ketogenic diet, a little stronger. Number 5 is exercise, and then number 4 is getting good sleep. At number 3, we start getting more serious with general calorie restriction. And then, at number 2, water fasting. This is where you eat nothing and only drink water. That's pretty powerful, right? I mean, what could possibly be stronger than that?
And here we have it. The number 1 most powerful, undisputed champion of triggering autophagy is dry fasting. And yep, that means exactly what it sounds like. No food and no water for a specific, controlled amount of time. Now, I know that might sound a little extreme, but the science behind why it's so effective is just fascinating.
And this right here, this comparison, just shows you how potent it is. Check this out. The research suggests that just 1 single day of dry fasting can trigger the same amount of autophagy as 3 full days of water fasting. Think about that. That's a 3-to-1 ratio. It's like an incredible accelerator for your body's self-cleaning process.
And the benefits here go way beyond just cleaning out old cells. It can seriously supercharge your immune system. It gives your liver and your kidneys a much-needed break from constantly processing everything you eat and drink. A lot of people report this incredible mental clarity and focus. And it's one of the fastest ways to just bring down inflammation all throughout your body.
Okay, so that's the science. That's the why this works so well. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty, the practical side, the actual 3-day protocol. This is the exact game plan. The protocol itself is actually ridiculously simple. And remember, you're only doing this for 3 days a month. That's it. On those 3 days, you do a dry fast from sunrise to sunset. So no food, no water while the sun is up. Then, once the sun goes down, you have your one and only meal for the day. Simple as that.
But what you eat for that one meal is really, really specific, and for good reason. Part 1, you need a big portion of cruciferous vegetables. We're talking broccoli, cauliflower, kale, that kind of stuff. These veggies have compounds that fire up your liver's detoxification pathways. Part 2, you need some high-quality protein, like meat or fish. See, after a fast, your body is screaming for building blocks to repair and rebuild, and meat provides these crucial amino acids, B vitamins, and iron that the liver needs to finish the job and get rid of all the junk that autophagy cleaned up.
And here's a little pro tip for you. If you really want to supercharge this whole process, get some broccoli sprouts.
They are 20 to 50 times more powerful in these cleansing compounds than regular grown-up broccoli. You can just toss them in a salad. It's a huge upgrade.
All right, now for a super important point. We all know that horrible detox reaction, right? The headaches, the fatigue, where the cleanse itself makes you feel awful. Well, there's a very specific way to prevent that from happening with this protocol.
The absolute key is making sure your bile is thin and flowing freely. If your bile gets thick and sludgy, which happens to a lot of us, then the toxins can get all backed up in the liver. That's what makes you feel sick. So to prevent this, you can take a supplement like purified bile salts or Tude Cup before you start, or you can do it with food. Things like beets or drinking some apple cider vinegar and water can help thin your bile naturally. Seriously, doing this prep is the secret to a smooth, easy cleanse. So really, it all boils down to this one powerful idea. For years, we've been told that cleansing is all about what you add, the juices, the herbs, the special powders, but maybe, just maybe, the most profound cleanse of all comes from simply stepping back, taking things away and just letting your body do the brilliant job it was designed to do all along.